Hey, welcome back to another awesome episode of Behind the Anvil. I'm your host, Michael Peterson, and today we're going to roll solo on this episode. So, what are we going to be talking about? Well, we'll get to that right after we got to pay the bills. And you know who pays the bills around here? Well, I'm going to read the script here so I don't get tongue-tied, hopefully. Anyway, Behind the Anvil is brought to you by Mikes Damascus Knives, LLC. From everyday carry to pocket knives to even custom kitchen cutlery. That's a mouthful. Every blade is custom crafted by yours truly. Or we can get together and design something up really cool. Or do you want to do it yourself or done with you? You can book a knife class right here at Mike's Damascus Knives by going to mikesdamascusknives.com or on Facebook at Mike's Damascus LLC, Instagram at Mike D Knives, or on TikTok, I think it's American Bladesmith, or you can send a message right here on the YouTube channel where this also goes to American Bladesmith. I think on X, same thing. So I got too many socials and not enough brain power to manufacture all that. I make knives. I don't really do this stuff all that well with the computers. So anyway, I'm going to quit rambling here. Let's get to it. Um, I got thinking, I'm going to do a solo episode here today, and we're going to cover, what I'm doing in the shop right now, where I'm going to kind of want to be a little bit, as also hunting for a part-time day job. Bills are fun. Also, things I thought about considering doing, but let's jump into that. Um, well, shop update. Kind of been playing around with a little bit more blacksmith knives. Now, if you're wondering what a blacksmith knife is, I should have grabbed one, had it here, but they're all out of the shop. But you can go to Mike's Damascus LLC and see on that. Pretty much what it is I make a rat tail handle, draw it out to a point, curl in, wrap it around so it looks like a rat tail sitting there. Either I make a, I don't know, drop point spear hunter knife, or just a straight EDC style. And more recently, I've and my mind goes blank. Letter opener. Got thinking the other day, I had a customer kind of go, "Hey, I'm kind of looking for a letter opener." He kind of stopped by about once a year to see what I've got, which is really cool. Can't help take care of the bills, you know what I mean? And I got thinking, God, letter opener. What can I do something different for a letter opener? Now, I usually used to take a piece of 3/4 inch Damascus, punch that out. It'd be a full tang Damascus with basically a dagger blade to it for my letter opener. I'm sitting there thinking, I really don't like making those. But I got thinking, well, we're doing blacksmithing knives. I like doing that. It's a little more relaxing, more fun. Hey, let's go something else. I tried drawing out on a piece of paper, as I was telling a friend of mine, took a picture and sent it to him. Yeah, that was not a lot of fun. I ought to get him on here. See, that's not a bad idea. I'll reach out to him after recording this. But went out to the shop and took the image in my head and forged it out, and actually pretty much nailed, if not better, than what I was thinking. Using some recycled springs for that, because why not? It's cheap, keeps the cost down for me, keeps the little prices down for you, helps the shop out, keeps the light on. Anyway, um, so I've been doing that. Gonna do, and also the last couple months, I've been planning a local event out in the park, doing a vendors event called Small Business Fest. This will actually air right after that. And I'll tell you what, I took a little bit more than I thought it was going to take to do. I had to find out that, oh, you got to buy insurance for that. Oh, government for you, right? They always make things more expensive. But hey, we ended up doubling the vendors, got a lot of vendors, got music, got food trucks. I've been having some friends help out with that. Thank God. Got the flyers up, even got a radio ads. So hopefully we hopefully by this time this airs on next Monday, the 16th, 17th, 18th. On the 18th, I guess is when this is airing. I could have looked at my phone for but yeah, I digress. Anyway, that's been a lot of fun doing that. I don't know if I'll continue or give it to some people I know that manage events all the time. So I gotta quit looking at myself on the screen and look at right here at the camera. Um, Remind myself, like, ooh, look at that beard. Sorry. Anyway, squirrel moment. but or trade that off to them, let them run with it. The idea behind it is to give other small businesses like myself easy, cheaper route to get there to vend to meet customers so they can show their product or services, what they offer. And then from that, we think we got a couple kids entrepreneurs coming. Um, yeah, and food trucks, tattooing too. Anyway, hopefully we check that out. Um, all sponsored by KB Business Solutions and Brad's BC Custom Rods LLC. Check him out pretty much everywhere on BC Custom Rods LLC, KB Business Solutions. I should know that by now. I am sorry, guys, if you're listening to this. Brad's probably just laughing. As you know, we've had Brad on the show. Big shout out to him because he is going to do, I think, over the next, he actually made a song. I wish I could play it over this and you could hear it without sounding like crap. But we actually got an intro song. It's kind of long, but he'll gonna put a video together. I think we're gonna film something. Don't know what he's got in mind. But we're gonna film something so we have a little bit of an intro, and then you can listen to the whole song afterwards. Yes, we did use AI to create it because, well, we're both broke. We work for a living. Can't hire a musician to do it yet. But it sounds pretty damn cool. I like it. Um, I used AI to go ahead and write the lyrics, kind of put in, hey, this, da, 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 da. Kind of wrote out a few lyrics myself. It generated it, went back, edited it two or three times, got it where I thought, sent it over to Brad. Brad made a couple of them up. Was right. The songs, the first two of them were pretty good, but I wasn't fully in love with it. Neither was Brad. And then he got bored one day at work when it was slow, and I should not have heartburn. I should have my water here. But I guess he sat there and played with it for 150 tries, and then he finally got the number one spot for the intro song. So AI has been a real good tool, especially for me when I'm writing posts. Matter of fact, we're going to do a couple things real quick with AI with ChatGPT, that I like to use the most. I know there's a few other Gork or Grok or however you want to say it. Grok, I guess. Huh? For some reason, I want to call it Gork. I don't know why, but that's just me because my mind goes backwards at times. But one second here. I should have done what I should have done is grab some water. I'm going to hit pause real quick. We're going to grab some water and be right back. So hold on just a second. We'll be right back. All right, that was a quick break. Hope that didn't pause too long for you guys. Had to get the H2O or the dihydrogen oxide, however you want to call it. You know what? I hope one of these days I can get a nice chair and instead of this camping chair and get this I guess you could say studio, aka I'm literally on my office desk, which also doubles as a reloading bench, which I need to do some more reloading, especially for my everyday carry pistol. Get the CB going, get the couple rail radios, make it look like I'm a hermit, which kind of am. So anyway, back to it. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I've been today. I was out in the shop working. Speaking of which, and today is what the 10th. That's when this recorded. So I usually try to record a bunch at a time, as y'all know, and I appreciate everybody following. But today, I was out working on a folder that I've been working on for a little while, getting it finished and everything else. And this thing was driving me nuts. Hold on. De Keep hydrated, folks. Ooh, I got an idea. I'm gonna reach out to a local company, see if they want to sponsor a few episodes, get some free stuff. Hey, but if you want to listen to this and you have a business and you want to sponsor this channel, podcast, however you want to say it, let me know. Send me an email. Just go to mikesdamascusknives.com. Send me a message there or mikeknives at live.com if you want to sponsor. Also, somewhere there's a thing we set up if you want to donate money for coffee, water, help support the show. You can go to PayPal, send us some money there, whatever you want. We'd appreciate it. Maybe we'll get the studio a little bit better and get rid of this AI generated thing because I got some cool stuff I want to hang up on the wall. It just, I don't want to show you this. It needs to be done right. So, I also get some better equipment instead of using one microphone when I'm doing interviews here at the house. Anyway, back to it. Yeah, back to the folding knife, the fighting. So I was just fighting it all day. Um, I had it set up to the point where I was ready to put both sides on. I put them all together, glued them, pinned them down, shaped everything up, got ready to put the blade on. And the day yesterday when I was working on it, I realized I left the blade way too thick. So I ended up having to grind that down and completely refinish it, take it back up to 400, re-etch it. I set it in the acid for about 2, 3 hours, pulled it out. It looked okay, wiped it off for the night. Threw it back again this morning for a couple hours as I was finishing a couple other knives. Got it done. So on my friction folders, as you know, friction, I use a pivot pin that's got two screws on, adjustment screws on each side, so you can get in there and torque that down, bring the sides in to kind of put pressure on that blade so it slides up and back and forth. It's also got a catch pin, so to kind of help catch it and lock it into place a little bit. Can also keep it from going backwards when you have it full in place. And I really should have some knives here for example. I mean, come on, we're a knife behind the anvil. We talk about knives, everything else. But one of the things I usually do for the little spacers is I got a bunch of scraps of G10. Thinking, those little spacers that go between the blade and the frame of the knife, because you got to keep those spacers there. That way your blade don't go boop, boop, boop. For those who are watching on YouTube or the reels, meaning this is your blade, and it kind of goes back and forth, keeps that from happening. Um, or shims, I guess another thing you could call them is shims. A washer, basically, is what it really is. Between that, so that helps give grip in there, keeps the blade straight, and then gives you a little torque, so you can torque your screws down and it pulls everything tight. Well, that fought me, and I fought, and I fought, and had to go over and make them a little bit. Now, I know somebody's going to get on here and say, well, you can buy those. Yes, I know you can buy those. I'm just like making them myself. Um, and for some reason, I just couldn't get the G10s. Either I got them really too thin, or I got them wobbled out, or something. It was just driving me nuts. And I got looking over there. I have some rivet. No, not frog rivet, rivets. Pins where the copper, you put the little thing, you rivet it over, hold stuff together. Well, I took the end that you would normally rivet down, the down part, after you're sliding on the shaft. That's the rivet shaft, you perverts. uh, but I got looking at that. I'm gonna grab it, drilled a 3/16 hole through it. Got over the grinder, took drill, put the drill in reverse, rubbed the 120 grit bit, and sanded those suckers right down to the size I needed. Just a hair bigger round than what was it, about a quarter inch or a little bit bigger. So, and I can't drop the damn things and they just disappear. I ended up making like 4 or 5 spacers, or washers, whatever you want to call it. Joint washers. There we go. Joint washers. That doesn't sound right either. Don't wash your joints. That probably not work. I digress. But anyway, after about, I bet you I worked 2.5 hours on this knife. Finally get two. Perfect it down, sand them down, put a piece of sand 220 out, sand them down using the finger, and got them all to that point. And I tell you what, I probably should have, and I had something back in mind. Let's just set it down and go do something else for a minute. I was like, well, there's nothing I'm really going to do. I've got the other knives done, the 3 knives I needed to get done. I have two for an order and an extra one for the show. I got a few other I need to work on this week that I'll get done. I'm going to do some really kind of big beater things, put a handle, simple handle on, throw some money out there see if people want them. Big choppers um, that I've been sitting around for a while. But anyway, back to it. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to let this little SOB knife be the boss today. I am going to finish this thicker. I'm just working through it. I'm like, time to pull up the bootstraps and get into it now. And I did. Much of that was frustrating the shit out of me. Um, yeah, I probably, again, looking back, maybe I should have took a break, set it on the side. And that's what I normally do. But it's like, you know what? I'm going to use this anger and I'm going to focus it, use it for my ADHD superpower and get this done. And I did. I finally did. Those copper washers work just beautiful. And I got done buffing, got everything buffed up, completely black, clear up to here. Had freaking buffing compound everywhere but my eyes, where safety glasses are on. Lovely. I had raccoon eyes on. Anyway, so that was a little frustrating there. Um, between the knife, being just a little thicker, and for some reason I had grounded it kind of like a wedge too, but that was causing some issues with slop in it and everything. I had to go back, make sure I ground that flat. I must not have been paying attention enough when I did that. So yeah, I mean, folders are a pain in the butt. Now I do have a slip joint design for the bigger one. I also have Josh. We had him on the show, Josh Eubanks. Um, oh, for heaven's sakes, I have to give him a shout out. I know I got a picture of his thing here and here. Right. Oh, I know it's in here, but I digress. I got the knife done. I got it polished up. Now I just got to sharpen it. I thought about putting a clip with it, a pocket clip, and I was like, this one, nah, I don't want to. So I'm going to go ahead and put a sheath with it. And Josh, I'm sorry, I can't remember your business name. Something Rusty Works. Rusty Chisel. Anyway, I'm drawing a blank on that. Sorry, Josh. We had him here on the first season. Josh Eubanks. Check that episode out on folders and his experience in the military and learning from a folder maker in Italy. Awesome episode. Get on there and check that out. I ought to get on there and do some clips of that. I use Omni Clips for. Hey, Omni Clips, if you're listening, anybody who works at Omni Clips, you hear this, come sponsor me. I've used your guys' stuff, so maybe we can do some trading. I don't know. Anyway, back to it. Check that episode out and everything else. So, I hope you guys are still with me here. Oh, God, it's been about 40. We'll go for a few more minutes. Um, but yeah, sometimes, yes, it's a good way to step away from a project, especially if you really start screwing things up, which I kind of was, but I kind of wasn't. But I was going to make that knife my bitch instead of the opposite way around and got it done. Looks great, feels great, locks into place both directions. Um, yeah, just little tedious things. Had to shorten the pin itself, take the tack, go back and recut the threads a little bit, clean them up. I actually didn't really cut them again. I had to clean them up. Got to get it right. And my dinner's not like me. I already had dinner and it's kind of up again. Probably because I'm fat, need to get out and walk more. Which I gotta go do some yard work after this too. So not much, but it's springtime. Got to get the yard looking good, you know. Kind of make sure it doesn't look like too much of a bachelor lives here. Oh Lord, besides it got the kid. So anyway, knife shop kind of update there. Working on blacksmith knives. Um, and I know I talked about that, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do blacksmith knives and folders. Because one is getting too hot and make steel. I do have some cable Damascus billets if anybody's interested. I got a few. It wouldn't take much to fire that forge up. My neighbors might not like me getting up that early in the morning when it's getting hot. I mean, it's already what, May 10th and hit 82 degrees already. I am not going to like this summer. And I almost took a job in Florida, which right now I guess is like what, 100 degrees or something like that this afternoon down there. I'm sure with a whole bunch of humidity. Whew. But that would be fun though. Friend of mine's down on that job there, so oh, who knows? Maybe in a year we might go do that for a while if we not working for somebody else by then. Anyway, mm, water, love it. All right, let's dive into. I got thinking would be kind of cool. Let's talk to ChatGPT, see what we can figure out, what it says here. Um, again, I use ChatGPT. Well, I did you design this so I can send that over to Dan, Dan DeMille of Valor Printing LLC, Art of Dan DeMille. Don't forget about Rodney, Art of Rodney Jacobson. He was on here as well. Um, Keeper of the Gates, and oh, I know I got it here somewhere. Centuries. Rodney's comics, Centuries. You can find those at valorprinting.com. Yeah, sorry, Dan, if I screwed up the podcast. We had Dan and Brian on here a while back. Um, but yeah, and I lost my train of thought. But anyway, of course, Dan teased me. Oh, you're giving in the Skynet. And I says, yes, I know Sarah Connor would be very disappointed. If you get that reference, you're old as I am, if not older. Um, oh, hell. Um, but anyway, I like to use it because one, I think too fast. When I type out stuff, I mean, I'll literally, unless I go slow myself down and go for word for word for word. A lot of times when I'm typing things out, I swear I see it there. And it's like, okay, that looks good. Post it. Yeah. So what I use ChatGPT for is like when I'm doing a post and I want certain information in there, I'll go in and literally just kind of write the post and then tell AI to, correct it for spelling, grammar, punctuation, blah, blah, blah. This is what the post is for. This is to engage, you know, correct my wording, use that and such like that. Or sometimes I just let it go ahead and generate me a post. It saves me a lot of time because my biggest problem, and I'm sure there's a way to work through it, but I don't feel like I got the time. Um, I kind of sit there and like, all right, what do I write? What do I write? What do I write? And I kind of start locking up and I kind of zone out and like, I get these weird feelings on my cheek about it. And it's like taking a test in high school or something. Like you're taking a test, like those dreams you're taking a test in your underwear in your dreams and back in school and such. Kind of like that, kind of, ah, but throw it in the chat GBT and it writes it out pretty good. And and I'm trying to catch myself, slow down, read it through. Um, hey, edit this, edit that, edit this, change this to back to this. Whew, excuse me, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't be yawning. I've been sleeping a little bit better lately, so um, but yeah, that's kind of what I use for ChatGPT. Now I create posters and flyers. I used it to create the flyer for the event that we're doing, and also radio ads. I'm running a radio ad for that, and I generate that up. Went back, edit this, edit that. But most of the time, I just put in what I'm trying to, what's in my mind, and type it out the best I can, and then have it correct the grammar and everything else. Um, and then I've heard podcasts, it's making people dumb. It's like, well, it keeps me from getting frustrated where I just won't do it. Had a lot of good ideas, but trying to put it out into words to somebody else so they can understand it. It's like, here, Kevin got me on to ChatGPT. He's found something else that works a little bit better um, for him. I'm going to stick with ChatGPT because that's what I know. But for business, for me, for doing that, writing letters, I'll write the letter out, what I want in the letter, and tell, hey, put it in letter form, correct everything for spelling, grammar, and everything else. Probably should sit down and write a companion letter with it by hand, but my handwriting sucks. I mean, you just ask my daughter. You can ask Daisy when she's typing out the book that I've been writing. I need to sit down and start writing that up again too. Where the hell is that at? It's somewhere around here. I think she's got it actually. I think she's been typing on it. But she's like, Dad, what is this? I'm like, oh, that's that. How is that word? It says my handwriting sucks, and I want to sound a little more professional. And I know it seems like I'm not telling it just, hey, generate later, blah blah, but I'm literally typing it out on ChatGPT, using that to correct it, basically an editor. Because if you go back and you talk to Mallory, shout out to Mallory. Well, she listens to this now and then. I need to get her on here one of these days. Been going to with her what she does and everything. Um, but you go talk to her and she correcting posts, and then Kevin, he came along, he'll correct posts and such like that when he can. Um, and it's just like sometimes I just fire it off the cuff, and then you gotta look back. Oh, somebody changed that, or I get a message, hey, go change. This is what it should have said. You messed this word up. Left this out. Run on sentences. All that kind of fun stuff. So that's what I use ChatGPT for. And so I got thinking, let's do a little quick little history. I'm gonna try to read this word for word. I'm gonna search it, see what it brings up. Let's see. How do we just start this? Um, Give me um, a short summary of the knife maker Buster. Oh, I guess I can't place his name. Sorry, I'm trying not to get. God, I hope I wrote his last name right. I think I did. From Rich. So what I'm doing is I'm telling ChatGPT to go ahead and give me a short summary of the knife maker. Um, he passed away back in 2005. Buster Warenski, who was one of my dad's mentors and one of the founding guys back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s that helped really got knife making. And you got Bill Moran is one of them. Dad took a Damascus class from Bill Moran back when I was like a month old up in Wyoming. Um, and you got Loveless and a bunch of other guys back from the 60s and 70s and 80s that started getting the knife making to where it is today in the guilds and the ABS Master Smiths and Junior Smiths, all that. Bill Moran and the knife making school out of Texarkana. And I've always kind of wanted to do like a 30 for 30 or a little documentary on them. And I didn't know how I wanted to film it for YouTube. And I got thinking, well, hell, we got this, we got that. Don't really have the money or time to go sit down and visit these people. Some of them are passed away. His wife's still alive. And I got thinking today, hey, let's show you how I use ChatGPT. And I guess I could have probably just popped this up here and did a screenshot. You could see what I'm doing, but I'm not that intelligent. Not sure exactly how to share my screen with myself. Sure, it's easy. Just need somebody to show me first. Utah. So anyway, I give me a short summary of knife maker Buster Warenski from Richfield, Utah. Let's see what it comes up with just a little bit. Boom. Awesome. It looks like sources from this. Okay, cool. All right. And I got a couple of stories that my dad shared with me when I was growing up, and when he mentioned stuff about Buster. All right. So ChatGPT came up with this again. Looks like the source it came up with was Wikipedia.org and two others. Wikipedia. Uh, I don't know. It's got logos in there I don't recognize. So anyway, I'll shut up. I'll start reading. Buster Warnski was a legendary custom knife maker and art bladesmith known worldwide for creating one of the finest, most valuable handmade knives ever produced. Living and working in Richfield, Utah, he became famous for his highly detailed art knives. And when you were talking about detail, go look it up. The Gem of the Orient. Go look up the King Tut recreation knives that he did. He has folding knives, everything else. Anyway, art detailed art knives made with gold, gemstones, jade, and oh, pronunciation is hard. Bear with me, folks. intricate engraving. There we go. I said it right. Yay! Pat on the back. His most iconic creation was a full gold recreation of, again, here we go, full recreation of the King Tut Dagger, a project that took years to complete. And I want to say, I swear I remember Dad saying like up to almost 6 years. And I'll tell you the reason a little bit. I know that was shared with me that why it took so long. The King Tut Dagger project that took years to complete and helped set a new standard in custom knife making. And then I go look that up. It stands for, yeah, that was really cool. Warenski served as president of the Knife Making Guild and was later introduced into the Blade Magazine Cutlery Hall of Fame. His work remains highly respected among collectors and bladesmiths around the world. We lost Buster back in 2005. I remember going to his funeral. It was a beautiful funeral, beautiful service. Um, I got to actually go ask Buster, and I should have done it more when I was a little bit when I was getting into knife making. And I was working on a buoy, and my question is all right. So how do they do those a buoy handle? That's hidden tang, where you slide the guard up, kind of like the guard it looks like on the picture here of the logo. If you can see it, I probably ought to shrink that down a little bit. And that's actually a buoy I actually made for a friend of mine, Holly. If you're listening, shout out to Holly. I think she's got her buoy. If not, I think anyway, made a really cool buoy. It's actually Dan made it look like Damascus. It was actually made out of 5160. Um, could have done that knife a little bit better. Um, learn, trade some stuff. Um, anyway, back to it. I was trying to figure out how do you put one of those guards, S guard. That's right, S guard on there, and then how do they hide that? How do they? I couldn't. My dad's like, go ask Buster. So made a phone call, stopped in after school, showed him what I was doing, and I've never done it since, and I don't know why, and I really should try it. So he told me what they would do is they make everything else, get it the angle just right, slide your S guard on, but then you would make a basically a false. Um, well, you take your rest of your Damascus and you would take I guess a sleeve. Let's call it a tang sleeve, and you slide it right up on top of that, so it would hide where you cut your groove in, your slot for your guard to slide on there. So it'd cover that up, so it looked nice and clean. And then you would just go back in, weld that on. But make sure you have your guard completely finished, polished, and so you didn't have any issues right there in that spot. So sitting there going and cussing. So that's what he told me to do. I went a different direction because I wasn't unsure myself. I was like 16, 17 right there at the time. Um, yeah, that's been a while ago. Wow. Um, 16, 17 at the time, and wasn't really sure myself I wanted to do that, which, would have been easy to do, especially taking that knife and then made a false guard, then took the Damascus and forged it around it and forge fitted it, um, which would have been easy. I mean, I could have milled it out. My dad's got a mill. It's about wore out now. Um, that's that poor mill. That thing's been through the woods, and could have fit that on. But now I think what I would do is take that and just fold that around and forge fit it to that tang, and then go back in, put this S card on there, put it in, and did some welding. I probably would have probably V'd it in on the sides where I could put a nice little bead and then go back in and grind it flush. Um, Maybe even drill down through there and put a pin. Uh, I would have been. I'm gonna have to try this. I really am. But anyway, and then you go ahead and put your handle material on there, and it looks like a full tang, not a full tang instead of a hidden tang. So again, somebody's probably gonna get out there. That's not what the name of it is. That's okay. Bear with me here. I'm gonna call it a tang sleeve. That doesn't sound right. Anyway, too many years of truck driving, perverted thoughts go through your head a lot, and I'm a guy. So anyway, bear with me. So. Buster Warenski, very influential on my dad's knife making. Dad has been doing the drop point hunter skinners. He's done some other stuff too, here and there, some meteorite knives, meteorite Damascus. Uh, no, excuse me. I should have cleaned out my nose really good. It's dry air in this room, so my nose is getting all dried out. Maybe I'll snuff some water out. Ooh, don't do that. But he made a meteorite sword, and I actually had some of the meteorite from that and played with it a little bit. But I found about using for canister is what you want to use, and you can hear a little bit about me and Dustin talked a little bit about that on our couple episodes we've done. But this particular meteorite came from Brazil. And I remember Dad likes to cut it down, slab it up, stack it, mix it with all one, and forge weld it. Well, this stuff was very hard to work. Come unglued, did not like heat until you got a few more folds into it. As soon as you tapped it, the meteorite would just spread apart. I mean, the stuff was perfectly. The metal analysis on it was, had the right amount of nickel in it, the iron, and whatever else the elements were in that meteorite. Again, it's a nickel iron meteorite out of Brazil. Not like the good stuff comes out of Africa. It's really good for forge welding that way. Um, if I told him, said, well, if you ever use any more of that, put it in a canister. But he finally thought it. And I remember him cutting. This thing was, I kid you not, oh, 80 pounds. Because I weighed it. I was in probably middle school, high school, well, starting high school when he got it. We had this great big huge meteorite, and it just kind of laid around for a little bit until. But I remember Dad having a hell time cutting that apart with a cutting torch. Now we took the last of it and we had a water jet cut through it like butter. Yeah. Um, but uh, but cutting that thing apart, heating it on the forge, you get this massive 80-pound meteorite um, down so we could stack it up and forge it out. But anyway, after forging and getting a fight and everything, the knife got the sword out. I think, if I remember correctly, it's a little short sword, probably 25, 30 inches blade on it, with this great big, beautiful cast silver handle and pommels on all one piece. When he etched it, it etched horribly. It looked like it was stuck in the ground somewhere, and you dug it out, and it looked like a Viking sword. It was all aged, and it just the muriatic acid is what Dad normally etches in. Just ate the shit out of it, and Dad wasn't too sure about it, and he sent it to the guy. He put it all together. The guy's ecstatic. This is what he wanted. He sold it and paid Dad a good commission out of that. Not sure what he got out of it. It was a good chunk of change that I recall, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm not gonna say. But anyway, that meteorite was kind of a pain in the ass. But I do have a little bit of that. Um, I think it's time to do another canister of that. Yeah, I know we can do real good canister because me and Sam did a canister in the new Forge, the Texas Forge. Shout out to our Texas Forge boys. They're at texasforge.com, I do believe, and Texas Forge on Facebook. Shout out to them guys. But yeah, it just that was an interesting story there. Back to Buster. I remember the King Tut knife. Now I know it took him quite a few years. I want to say 10 years, but I think that was the Gem of the Orient that took 10 years to complete. I want to say it took about 5 or 6 years to do the King Tut knife. Again, if I'm wrong, I could search that up real quick. But if you guys want to comment, let me know what that is. If you would, go ahead and comment below. It really helps with the algorithm, everything else. So, um, but I remember Dad said when he was working with it and everything. Now, the particular gold I understand from Egypt had like 10% iron in it. So he's trying to make the mixture the same kind of iron or same kind of gold they had there in Egypt. Well, I guess something went wrong and it blew up. It went shot gold BBs everywhere into him, stuck in his skin. I guess he spent better than a week or two sweeping up gold BBs, cleaning it up, pulling out of the wall, pulling out his skin and everything. Um, and one of the things it was some glass with it, and the temperature of gold and glass melted really close to each other was part of it. Reason why it blew up on some of the smelting of that knife. But go check that out, the King Tut Dagger Recreation by Buster Warenski. Also check out the Gem of the Orient. Very beautiful knife. I never got to see it in person, but I was just a little kid when that was going on. I wasn't really paying attention. I wish now looking back, it's like, God, I wish I had paid more attention. I do remember getting to see some of the engraving works on some of the folding knives that would work. Buster did some beautiful engraving. Also, his wife, Julia? Yes, Julia was. Let's double check that. We got Chat GPT. Who? Chat GPT, wonderful search too. Julia, I said it right. Yes. Um, she's still doing dimes and engraving. I believe she lives in southern Utah now. Um, she's still doing some really good stuff with that. I understand she still does some beautiful engraving work. Um, definitely would like to maybe we can get her on here one of these days. I'll have to reach out and see. Be awesome interview. But yeah. Um, but that's the story I remember that. Another one he was told me is I messed up on a knife one time. And it's been years ago when I first started. I was probably middle school, high school, right in there. And one thing about knife making, sometimes even though you start a big knife, something goes wrong. Well, you can always make yourself a little knife, and sometimes that just happens. Uh, I think I was asking about hollow grinding at the time, and this story comes up when Buster was working on. He did a lot of hollow grinds. I guess he was working on one and got grinding, wasn't paying attention, ground too fast, ended up grinding a small hole in the blade. Well, oops. But sometimes you can take an oops with the story, as you will hear. You can take that oops and turn it into something a little extra for your customer. But he got looking, I guess, he got looking at it, took it over his bench, took his files out, and ended up filing because one side of this hole looked like a humpback whale tail. How it was kind of sitting there, so he drew everything out and then filed the rest out. Took a flaw, an oops, I made an asset of it. Asset, not asset out of the oops. Save the project, give the customer something a little extra. So yeah, I mean, I think we've all done a little bit like, oh, wait a second. Oh, it actually worked with a knife. You know, cool. We can still save it. Just have to start all over again. And, you know, hey, you got a little extra work. This is really cool. Customer likes it. So yeah, there's kind of sometimes an oops can be turned into an opportunity, not only to save the blade, but give your customer a little extra. Um, because I know a lot of knife makers, they make an oops and they can't see a real good way to turn it into something else. It's going to go in the junk drawer and start over, which means, in today's world, lost money, lost production time, has got to start over. Whew. I gotta quit yawning here. I hope you're not waking up in the morning, driving the road down the road and listening to me, sitting here yawning. But anyway, that's something really cool. We'll definitely have to do, and I'm gonna wrap things up here and try to keep it an hour short because who wants to sit here and let me listen to me ramble on and on? Um, I hope you guys do, really honestly. Um, but ChatGPT again, that's what I like to use it for. Um, maybe I'll sit down and do because I'm trying to sit there and actually do research and pull up articles and everything else is the most mundane. I'd rather go make a knife. Okay, that's why I'm fat. I don't go to the gym because I've gone to the gym, but I don't see the results in that time or 2 or 3 hours of the gym. Yes, I know you got to go every day, over and over. But for me, because I guess maybe it's an ADHD trait or whatever, uh, I gotta have that instant result. Well, in the shop, I get instant result. I go forge out some steel. Instant result, I got those knives done. I'm moving forward. I'm seeing progress. That's one of my faults about dieting and exercise. So, but yeah. Anyway, ChatGPT really helps me do some writing. Yes, I actually type in what I want the letter to say or the post and tell it and instruct it. And then a lot of times I'll go back in and manually edit it before I post it. Because is AI 100%? No. Is it going to replace some jobs? Yeah. I know some people that use it in their job a lot, which means they get their production done quicker. Then they can move on to more things and get more things done and get ahead of schedule. Is it going to allow the people to cheat through some stuff? Probably. Is it people in high school and college using the cheat? But yeah, for they can still be caught with another AI to catch AI. It is a great tool. It is here to stay. It's here for the foreseeable future. There's some stuff I like about it. There's some stuff I don't like about it. A little political here. We data centers. People are throwing. We've got some data centers going on here. Of course, both sides are lying out their backside. I'm sure, but we are going to need them. Facebook's got data centers. We wouldn't have this. Zoom, YouTube. They've all got these data centers. We need them. Yes, they consume power. Is our power grid um, there where it needs to be to power them? No, our power grid is very behind. It's if we don't start doing something to it soon and adding more power generation. I prefer hydroelectrical, coal, and definitely I'm liking the new nuclear reactor systems that are cooled with helium and not large amounts of water. Basically, a shipping container. You can check those out. I think you can find that episode on Sean Ryan and then Joe Rogan. I can't think of the name of it right offhand. I'm not going to search it, but anyway, I digress. We got one here in Utah sitting about, I don't know, about an hour drive, hour and a half drive from where I'm at. And I think it's really cool. Solar plants, no. Solar plants wipe out hundreds of acres of, stuff. People are putting them on farm grounds and everything. It's like, you guys, you can't grow anything. Well, we grow stuff underneath it. No, plants need sunlight. Birds need sunlight. It's destroying birds' habitat. Probably good for rabbits. But solar farms, I'm not liking. Putting it on your house, all right. Let's put solar farms where we can't grow anything, um, and it's not an eyesore. I like Elon Musk's idea of putting a AI data center in space orbit. Instead of going around there like this, it's going to go like this, keeping the constant sunlight, where the sun is always beating on the solar panels and get pretty much free energy. It's pretty much free after you get them up there in an orbit and set up, and they work and can last. That's going to be cool to see. I'm really fascinated. We got Flight 12 coming up of Starship version 3. Never in my life I ever thought I'd see stuff like this. I played with amateur rocketry when I was a kid. Probably should have stayed into it, maybe gone to college, been smarter. But how to forge out a rocket. Ooh, I kind of like that. We'll have to do that. Um, hey, that's an idea. Anyway, so that's what I like to do with ChatGPT. It's definitely not going to replace what I do. Will it help me? Probably because I have issues with trying to learn how to run the plasma cutter at some point that I could put in a picture of a knife, say, hey, I draw the knife out how I want it, put it in there. It'll make me write the cut profile, the cut file for it, and then be able to throw it right in there. And someday, yes, is it getting there? It's getting close. According to Brad, it's not there yet. That guy's a smart guy when it comes to it. Maybe we'll get him on here and just turn him loose on his brilliantness because that guy is a smart son of a bitch. I'll tell you that. But anyway, yeah, I hope you'll check out Buster Warenski's work if you can. You catch a knife for sale, grab that. It's a hell of a collector's item. I need to get me some myself. Um, I got one of Dad's. Um, yeah, we'll have to do this more often. And I'll try to come back in. We'll do one on Draper Knives, a little bit on that business they started back in the 70s, I think it was. Draper Knives. We'll do a lot because here in central Utah, there have been a lot of big names. Jim Entz, Buster Warenski, Harvey Draper, Draper Knives, Johnson, Young. Jenkins, and there's one more I'm probably forgetting. Anyway, I digress, folks. Hey, I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you listened this far, I appreciate it. If you guys would drop us a review on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you listen to us, here on YouTube, drop us a comment, leave us a review, give us a thumbs up. Um, if you're on Facebook, Behind the Anvil um, Facebook page, TikTok, the American Bladesmith channel there. On X, it's American Bladesmith or Mike Damascus or Mike Peterson, however I put it. I don't remember. On Instagram, it's Mike D Knives on Instagram, and the knife page that pays the bills, Mike D Mike Damascus Knives LLC, or no, Mike Damascus on Facebook LLC. That's right, Mike Damascus LLC on Facebook, because we had to take knives out of there because they don't like knives. I guess I don't know. Come on, people! It's 24th century. You still use knives every day to cook your food, everything else. I make high-end kitchen cutlery, people openers, however you want to call it. Anyway, that last one I don't recommend. Trust me, no, I put a knife into my belly once. That was not fun. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying this show. Please, if you want to support the channel, simple, like, share. Really need to find somebody to help me do the Patreon thing so we can do that, and everything will go there first, even from the knife shop before it's posted elsewhere. Um, so, if you're listening, wherever you are, let us know where you're listening from in the comments. Again, give us a review on all those platforms. Um, yeah, share us out. We appreciate it. Hope everybody has a great rest of your day. I guess when this airs, it's Monday. So, anyway, thanks again, Behind the Anvil. Remember, America stays sharp, and there's only one King, and that's Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Have yourself a blessed and wonderful day. Stay safe. Remember, keep those knives sharp, because most likely you ain't gonna cut a limb off.